What is up, Bills Mafia? We have 212 days to go until the Buffalo Bills win Super Bowl 57. And you know what I'm doing, right? I'm dropping a video every single day until that day happens. 212 days, that's a lot of days, but we don't have a whole lot of time left until the Bills kick off against the Rams on Thursday night on September 8th. We only have 55 days to go until then. God, that is just gonna be like, oh my gosh, here we go. It's like being on a roller coaster, right? Right now we're like on that roller coaster going up the chain-linked track. You know, in the like 3 preseasons when you're kind of right at the top, and you level out. It's like the last preseason game, and then boom! Going down the track, baby. That's the season. Can't wait. Oh man. If you think I'm amped now, wait until that first game of the season. Man, it's just going to be absolutely outstanding. Can't wait. Well, until then, until we get there, we've got some, videos to do. Got to get some content out. And I appreciate some of you who are suggesting certain videos because it's helping me. It's helping me a lot. I got a really cool suggestion from a subscriber named the Terminator. Could it be the actual Thurman Thomas? That would be cool. But regardless, it's a very cool video. I watched it. It is a segment from a Rich Eisen show where he has these 2 guys on. One of them, Trent Dilfer. I don't know the other guy. But they're part of the Soul and Science project team, production, whatever. And it's going back in time just before the 2018 draft. And they're talking about the quarterbacks in that draft and their analysis of them. And so with that, I really want you to listen to these guys talking about Josh Allen in that draft class because it is really, really interesting with the perspective that we have now.
Trent Dilfer returns to talk soul and science with his partner in this new NFL Network series that debuted on Wednesday on NFL Total Access. You saw it this morning on Good Morning Football. John Brinkus, the co-founder and co-CEO of Base Productions and creator of Sports Science, is here as well. Good to see you guys.
6-time Emmy Award winning.
6-time Emmy Award winner.
And the smart one in this partnership.
He's the good-looking one. Wow. I tend to be the smarter one.
Okay. Well, how about this one? You're the science, John.
Sure.
And Trent, you're clearly the soul.
Soul.
He's all soul. Look at him.
You're the soul. And that's SOUL.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So where did this come? I could sense where the idea came from, but John, how did this get born out here?
So Trent and I had just one of those, when you meet somebody, you immediately click with them. And for many years, we always saying, look, we're looking at the same thing, but from 2 different lenses. We would have good spirited arguments about the science side versus what we refer to as the soul side. There are tangibles in sports. There are intangibles in sports.
Right.
So sports science was a look at sport through one lens. Soul and science is really taking a more comprehensive look. It's a deeper dive into the world of sport that we feel has never really been done.
And you're using, for the first iteration of this, all the top prospects in this year's draft. You got them all? Allen and Rosen, and Darnold, Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, and Luke Falk, among others?
We analyzed 8 of the top quarterbacks.
What'd you find? What'd you find?
Well, I think it can be a historic draft. I love this group. I think it's very diverse from how they play. I think we have different sizes. We have different athletic skill sets. We have different intangible skill sets.
Yes.
I think there's 2 that are ready to play right away in Darnold and Rosen. I think he'll differ on one of them.
Right.
I think Josh Allen is a unbelievable talent, off the charts talent. I think it's still raw and unharnessed. I think it needs to be.
What in particular?
He grew up in a town of 7,500. He went to a small junior college and went to a small school.
Wasn't that Carson Wentz too?
Yeah, but Carson Wentz is an outlier. Just because it happened one time doesn't mean it's going to happen every single year.
Okay.
But bigger than that, I think that he just needs to be introduced and brought along slowly of something bigger than what he's been a part of. I think there is this, he resorts to this power under pressure, and that's where the completion percentage drops a little bit. He'll throw you a rocket from me to you because that's what he's always known to do.
Right.
Give him time to grow and to see the game through an NFL lens and be coached by an NFL teacher every day and see another guy do it and see kind of the nuance of the game, and you could have something special there.
I think that when you look at the metrics for Josh Allen, you have genuinely, I can say,
Yes.
He's
arguably the strongest arm ever in the history of the NFL.
Are you serious?
That
You'll
is
be blown away by our testing on him. Blown away.
So his average release velocity in all the tests that we did was 72 plus miles per hour. That's complete insanity. So insane. I'm like, that can't possibly be true. When he's feathering the ball over the second line of defenders
Yes.
in a test that we call firm with arc, he's still throwing it 50 miles per hour. He's getting rid of the ball in terms of release and separation. 0.4 of a second is the elite category you need to be in for the NFL. He's in 0.38 seconds. He throws great on the run. He throws great with pocket mobility, resetting his platform. He is a physical specimen, I can say, unlike anything the NFL has ever seen. Now, that rawness
Yes.
and that completion percentage, he only completed 56% of his passes. It's a very misleading stat. Brett Favre only completed 52% of his passes in college. I think that you have, when you level it and take away spikes and take away intentional grounding, it actually goes up to 65+%. Those kind of stats are very misleading. If I'm a GM and I'm sitting back, I'm saying I can't teach this kind of raw talent. If I draft him and put him on the sideline for a year, year and a half to let him develop, you have something that no one else has ever had.
You know what the NFL lacks as much as anything right now? The culture of the NFL, the media of the NFL, and the coaches of the NFL?
What is that?
Discernment. And that's exactly what it's going to take to make Josh Allen great is discernment.
What do you mean by that?
It's going to take a GM, an owner, a GM, head coach that says, okay, we know we're getting something unbelievable here, but we cannot, no matter what, throw him out there too soon. No matter how good it looks in practice, no matter how much the quarterback coach says he gets it, no matter how much it looks good day in and day out, we have to be discerning enough to not be knee-jerk and throw him out there too soon. If we can give this kid a year, 1 year of just sitting and watching, and then maybe even year two, kind of baby step it, now you could have something special. But the NFL lacks that.
But at the top of the draft, Trent Dilfer and John Brinkus here for NFL Network Soul and Science. Here
I know what you're going to say, and my answer is why.
Well,
why,
no,
if
no,
you
no,
draft
no, no,
early,
no.
did you have to play?
No, excuse me. No. What I'm saying is if you look at the top of the draft, though, good news for Josh Allen and for discernment is that everybody's got a bridge quarterback. Yeah. Everybody. Jets have two. They've cornered the market on bridge quarterbacks. The Giants have, I feel bad calling Eli a bridge quarterback, but when you draft somebody that high, you intend to start this individual sooner rather than later. Tyrod Taylor in Cleveland. Denver. Having obviously Case Keenum. But John, you mentioned, or the two of you, that there was a disagreement about the top of the draft here. Who do you think that might be separate from what Trent thinks based on your evaluation?
I'm very, very high on Josh Allen.
I just heard that, but right there.
I mean, Trent would be much higher on Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's great, and he's awesome out of the box. We certainly blow away the myth that he has this slow looping release. I don't even know where it started. Somebody said it, and then it kept being perpetuated. But he has a quicker release than Derek Carr and even Jameis Winston. So he's walking into the NFL ready. I think that what's interesting about this draft is I feel it's very similar to the 2012 draft. In 2012, you had Andrew Luck, you had RG3, you had Russell Wilson,
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. You had Brock Osweiler, you had Nick Foles. Two of those guys have gone on to win Super Bowls, neither of which went in the first round.
Correct.
I think when you look at, we got Falk, we have Mason Rudolph. You have guys that are flying under the radar more than because this class of quarterbacks is so special. I think that we will look back 10 years from now and say, this was a really special class of quarterbacks because there's so many situations, like you pointed out, where there is that bridge quarterback where they don't have to come in and be the savior. But if they're being asked to be the savior day one, I think it's tough for any rookie
What is Allen your top choice because of this sports science period? Just
pure-
because of the metrics, the pure numbers, and what you are seeing from your sports science knowledge?
Yes,
Is it?
to me, Josh Allen is the on paper, on metrics. That's the guy that blew me away the most. I think that Trent is right, though. You can't start him day one. He definitely needs that time to mature, but he has something that everybody else does in terms of pure metrics.
Really cool stuff, right? I mean, that guy sitting next to Trent, he was brilliant. He knew his stuff. He should be a GM in the league. You know, I look back at some of the things that I thought about players coming into the league and how badly I would have missed. For instance, I really wanted the Bills to draft Johnny Manziel. I really did. I thought that he was going to be a top quarterback in the NFL. And of course, turns out he was just a complete head case and his career just went nowhere. Complete head case. And guess who drafted him? That's right, the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns gravitate towards head cases. Congratulations to them. But anyway, really great to see that video. If you want to see more of that, I'll have the link in the description below so you can see the whole thing. And comment below, who was your big miss? Do you have any players that you thought were going to be superstars and they ended up being busts? Or the opposite? Did you call one right, or two, or three, or whatever? Should you be a GM in the NFL? Let me know. Comment below. See you tomorrow.